How awful.
Hi, I'm Zach Bagans. This is Ghost Adventures.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Happy day after Halloween to us and not to you. It's like a week after Halloween for everybody else.
Yeah, this whole era.
The election's over. You guys know and we don't.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's kind of terrifying.
Isn't it? We're recording from the past when things are just anxiety inducing and
Yes.
not horribly, not terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, this would be, today is November 1st for us.
Yeah.
So for you, today is November 9th.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they definitely know.
They know.
They know. Is it another 4 years of absolute hell?
And I've turned 33
You have turned 33. Tanya's birthday is the 6th.
of November.
So future Tanya that is 33.
I'm Tanya Lee, and I'm 32.
Yeah, I'm V, and I'm 33.
Old hag.
I'm only 4 months older.
Yeah.
I'm not that much older.
No, we're pretty close.
Yeah, we are. But growing up, I liked to pull the whole "I'm older than you" card.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Because you were a little sister, and you were like, oh my God, I have one thing.
Finally, I'm older than somebody.
I have one thing I can do. Yeah, because you were always the youngest in your year, right?
Yeah, I was 17 when I graduated high school.
Right. Ugh.
I was a baby.
Such
and
baby.
I graduated high school and I still had like over a month before I turned 18.
Right.
I was a baby. I don't know how I was in that year. I don't know how I wasn't in your year.
No. Well, because I think the cutoff is like,
September.
yeah, September. And I don't know. I always think about how young people are when they go to college or they leave home for the first time.
I was 1 month into 18 when I went to college. Like, no wonder. I was like, nope.
Right. And I was on the other side of the spectrum where I was kind of older in my year. So
you turned 19 pretty fast into freshman year. But the moral of the story is 17-year-olds are too young to pick what they're going to do for the rest of their lives.
I agree.
100%.
I mean, I get why.
You picked what you actually ended up doing. So kudos to you.
But I've known this since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I've known that I wanted to at least tell stories in some way.
Yeah.
And I was always fascinated. Actually, the thing that really pushed me over the edge was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
We watched all of the behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings, particularly because we thought the actors were cute and funny.
Exactly.
But I would delve into like the production design behind the scenes.
Read the script.
I read the scripts. I deep dived. And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. Yeah. I want to be like Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
But I don't really like many Peter Jackson movies. I just like that one.
The Lovely Bones is good.
Oh, yeah, The Lovely Bones is good. But
West Memphis 3 is good.
He produced that, though. He didn't direct it.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's in it.
He's in it. Yeah, he's involved.
I still want to write. I still want to write a book. I didn't need to spend $100,000 of my father's money to do it. I think looking back, I should have gone to school for like fashion marketing.
Sure.
Something along the lines of like fashion business. I think that would have benefited me. Probably a little bit.
Probably.
More.
I think experience. I mean, look, I think at the end of the day, at least in my world, and I'm sure probably in yours as well, I think experience is more of an education than you could ever pay for.
Definitely.
But
you got to have an education to get experience. Isn't that
right?
Fun? Today's How Awful is about job hunting and
gosh, in 2020.
And oh God,
even worse.
True.
You're getting a morning show.
Yeah, this is a weird time. I'm never home on the weekends. I work weekends.
I work
probably till the day I die.
I work late nights. Mm-hmm. So today, Sunday morning, is the day that we make this work. So no wine today, sorry, but we are. We did enjoy a cup of tea.
We had a nice cuppa
Yorkshire.
We had some bevies last night.
Oh, yes, we did.
We imbibed last night.
B shouted into the abyss. It was fun.
Yeah, I did. I shouted into the abyss. I highly suggest mixing apple cider with white wine. It's delicious.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was delightful.
Oh, well, should we get to it?
I guess we should, because we're not saying anything interesting.
We're just rambling. We haven't talked
ages
really to each other.
College admissions.
Yes.
Job hunting.
So you're telling us a lore story?
I'm telling you a lore story.
All right.
I am indeed.
And I'm going to cover celebrity deaths after.
once again, it's kind of a mashup.
Okay.
It's lore mixed with true crime.
Mine is a mashup as well, but I'll tell you about that later.
I'm interested. The mashups are always interesting.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
So it's a shorty.
That's good because mine's long.
Yes.
So
we're gonna dive into the story of Cropsey.
Oh.
Do you know about Cropsey?
I know about Cropsey, but I don't actually know what Cropsey is. So
Okay.
I'm very interested.
Well, Cropsey comes from Staten Island, New York. What started as an urban legend eventually became a reality for the children of Staten Island in the 70s and 80s. So imagine this was an urban legend that started to come true.
Oh, God.
Horrifying. The legend of Cropsey is that of a creature that lurks at the end of your street, a shadowy figure that watches from the woods on the outskirts of your neighborhood playground, a crazed beast of a man with a hook for a hand that snatches neighborhood children.
Why does it always got to be a hook?
I don't know. Drags them into the abandoned halls of the Seaview Hospital and disembowels them if they don't obey their parents. Cropsey was a threat most parents used to get their kids to finish their peas or clean their room.
Like Wrinkle the Clown?
Yeah, like Wrinkles the Clown, yes.
That guy.
That guy. Parents were left horrified when the legend seemed to manifest right in front of them in the form of Andre Rand. So Andre Rand was a local drifter that began to terrify Staten Island's children in the 70s. Rand, born Frank Russian, I don't know why he was Andre Rand when he was born a completely different name.
Completely.
Worked as a janitor at the Willowbrook State School, an institution for mentally disabled children, not far from the ruins of Seaview. Off to a great start. During its 40 years of operation, Willowbrook repeatedly came under fire for the mistreatment of its students. A young Geraldo Rivera revealed the institution's horrid conditions to the public in a 1972 expose. By 1987, the school was shuttered for good. Andre Rand left Willowbrook long before it closed, but many who believe in his guilt also believe his tenure at a facility notorious for abuse later influenced his crimes against children. The first youth to go missing in the string of disappearances was 5-year-old Alice Pereira, who vanished in 1972 after playing with her brother. The second was 7-year-old Holly Ann Hughes, who, according to witnesses, was spotted with Rand on the day of her disappearance in 1981. The third was 11-year-old Thais Jackson, who disappeared shortly after Rand was released from prison in 1983. The fourth was Hank Gaffario, a 22-year-old with a low IQ, who was last seen with Rand at a diner in 1984. The bodies of the victims have never been recovered.
What?
Yes.
None of them?
None of them.
And how many did you name?
Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Remember when we said there wouldn't be maths?
There's 5.
You're really good at counting.
Thank you. Because the final child was Jennifer Schweiger in the summer of 1987, a 12-year-old with Down syndrome. Jennifer told her parents she was going for a walk, but never returned.
Like the purest of humans.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. A massive search party commenced. Neighbors combed the empty lots and wooded parks of Staten Island. By this time, Rand was homeless and living in a series of makeshift campsites. One of the outposts was built in the woods behind his old stomping grounds, Willowbrook State School. While searching for Jennifer near the shuttered school, a firefighter uncovered a small foot in the earth, which ultimately gave way to Jennifer's body buried in a shallow grave. Rand's camp was discovered shortly thereafter, so she was the only body that's been found.
Okay.
Authorities quickly arrested the man and charged him with murder. Now, I'll post the picture, but there's a picture of Andre Rand in handcuffs being led out of a courtroom, and he's like drooling. He just doesn't look like he is of sound mind. I mean, clearly he's not of sound mind, but this looks like an extreme form of mental incompetency. Like he does not look like he's capable of taking care of himself.
Right. It's physically demonstrated that he is unwell.
Yes. In the court of public opinion, the case was open and shut. Rand was an ex-con with a record of crimes against children. In 1969, he was arrested in the South Bronx for attempting to rape a young girl. In 1983, while working for a Staten Island school bus company, he kidnapped 11 children, bought them lunch, and drove them to New Jersey's Newark International Airport for no apparent reason. So he just driving a school bus, took 11 kids, bought them some Mickey D's.
Maybe he had a different plan and it just didn't work out.
Maybe.
So it seems random, but
it does.
Maybe it's not, and it was just a failed attempt at something else.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yet there was very little concrete evidence that linked Rand to the actual murder of Jennifer Schweiger. In 1988, he was ultimately convicted of kidnapping in the first degree and sentenced to 25 years in prison. The jury was unable to reach a verdict on the murder charge, and so it fell. In 2004, just 4 years shy of becoming eligible for parole, Rand was put on trial once more, this time for the 23-year-old case of Holly Ann Hughes. Prosecutors presented new evidence in the proceedings, and a jury convicted Rand of kidnapping the little girl. He was sentenced to another 25 years. The cases of Thais Jackson, Alice Pereira, and Hank Gafario all remain unsolved. In each, Rand is a prime suspect, but with the bodies still missing, they remain lost youths who fell victim to the Cropsey legend. To this day, a neighborhood search team still combs the woods around Willowbrook School and Seaview Hospital in search of the remains of the missing children. So the sources were Creepy History, Cropsey, the Staten Island Monster, and there's also a Cropsey documentary made by local boys to Staten Island on Netflix. And
wow.
It's very interesting and
I would love that.
very
Maybe
creepy.
that's why I've heard of it.
That's probably why, because it would come up when you clicked on Netflix a lot. It was Cropsey, and then it was this creepy, like, abandoned, dilapidated hospital building that was, like, in the middle of the woods.
I bet you I have it on my list. I'll have to
You probably do.
check it out.
I watched it a couple years ago, and then when I was researching lore, it came up again. And I was like, oh, this is a good one.
So essentially, it was either he was inspired by this, or he just like...
I don't think he had the mental capacity to be inspired by this. I think he was just a local, mentally unstable person, pedophile who snatched kids, and it just happened to match up with this local lore.
Oh,
so he ultimately ended up being branded as Cropsey.
Right.
And now it's clearly an urban legend parents don't use to threaten their children anymore. But now it's more like Staten Island kids used against each other. Like, Cropsey will get you. And then they like, I know that there's a part of it where kids will use like going into the woods and going to like the abandoned hospital and like saying Cropsey's name as a way of like hazing friends. And
oh, geez.
Yeah. So.
Why do kids do this?
I don't know. Kids are really cruel.
Like, I wonder, what's the psychology behind hazing?
I don't know. This wasn't hazing, but I don't know if you recall at home in Willow Springs when, was it Wolf? Yeah, on Wolf Road. If you crossed Wolf Road out of our, not on the part of Wolf Road where we lived, but the further part, closer to the Barney Park. We called it the Barney Park because it was purple.
Yes.
If you crossed into that wooded area, there was that little opening. Did you ever go with us?
No.
Okay. If you crossed into this little opening.
I wasn't allowed to go that far.
And neither was I, but I still did. This wasn't when I was a child. This was like when I was a teenager.
Okay.
Like 13, 14, 15.
I mean, I probably still wasn't allowed to go that far.
I think one of the times I went was with Joey, so I was over 15.
Right. Joey was your high school boyfriend.
High school boyfriend, yes. And so there's an opening in it, and if you went into it and followed this little path of very many beer bottles, because it's where teenagers would go and party, you would find there were car seats that had been like ripped out of the car, not like kid car seats, but
right.
that had been taken out of cars and like put around in a circle with like a trash can fire pit type thing, and it's where kids would go and drink.
That sounds like the suburbs of Illinois.
Exactly. There was a car door that was like sticking up, like implanted in the ground. It looked like they'd played paintball out there, but then if you kept going, there was the shell of a burnt down house.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember this place. Wait, could you see that place from...
You could see the like white brick of like one of the walls when you were driving down Willow Springs Road.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it is far scarier when you get up to it because it's that house that was burnt down, and then there's another house maybe like 30 feet from there that's just like falling apart.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And there's no trespassing signs everywhere, so I think somebody owns that, but they just leave it.
Yikes.
It's super creepy.
Ugh.
Might be worth venturing out to when we do our hometown.
Yeah, as long as we have other people with us.
Oh, yeah, we will.
2 girls walking into the woods doesn't sound like...
It doesn't sound like a fun time?
Doesn't sound like an intelligent thing to do.
All I remember feeling... I mean, I did it during the day. I never went at night. Was
good.
A lot of panic, just a lot of fear.
Little 15-year-old Tanya would have reprimanded you.
Yeah.
I was very much a goody
She
two-shoe.
was a rule follower. Anytime I did something that wasn't even against the rules, it was just, shame. Against Tanya's rules. She'd be like, I can't believe you did that.
Man, I was so judgy then. I don't think I am that way anymore, but
No.
back then I was just...
Well, you didn't know better. You were just, you were a anxious rule follower.
Yes.
I don't think anything really would have happened to you if you didn't follow the rules, but you were convinced something would have.
Yes. But
Your family was not punishers.
no, I don't...
But it was the threat of possible punishment that you were like, oh my God. Like, she was so afraid of breaking curfew. It was like, if she did, she was going to get beat.
Right, but you have to understand...
And her parents were not like that at all.
My upbringing... I don't know if it's my upbringing or the fact that I was an only child, and my entire life up until I was 10 years old was spent moving from town to town. So my only friends that were consistent were my parents, and especially my mom, because my dad was always out on business trips.
You didn't want to disappoint your mom.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like not just my parent, but I didn't want to disappoint my best friend.
Right.
As sappy as that sounds.
No, yeah.
I was
get
like,
it.
My rule following and my goody two-shoeness was more of like, I have so much respect that I can't even fathom hurting their feelings.
I mean, that was kind of me too. I mean, that's why we were friends. We both didn't break the rules. We both didn't like to hurt our parents.
And we both loved our parents so much that...
both of us, our moms were our favorite people, were our favorite people. And we didn't want to do anything to upset them. I just had more relaxed rules than you did. Yeah. Like, I didn't have a curfew because my mom trusted my friends.
Yeah. I mean, my mom trusted...
And she trusted me to not abuse that. So.
Yeah. My mom trusted you, especially. Like,
yeah, if you were with me, then she typically was a little bit more...
Yeah, she knew we weren't getting into anything.
Yeah.
She knew we were just going to go play miniature golf, or go bowling.
Yeah.
Or just, like, watch movies. And, we weren't up to anything. So we didn't even go to parties in high school. We didn't drink.
No.
So
and none of our friends did either.
Nope.
We were never convinced to do any of that stuff.
We weren't worrisome children.
No.
Thankfully.
I think our parents in the back of their head are like waiting to find out some sort of like teenage rebellion from us.
100%.
And we're just like, they're genuinely...
I like try and think of things.
There wasn't.
To make my mom or my dad laugh about
boring. We were boring.
But it's almost funny because I went so out of my way to not do anything that's the funny story.
Yeah. Even the one time that I drank as a teenager, it was under your parents' supervision, 5 feet from my home. So, like, there was no trouble I could get into.
Right.
None at all.
No. We lived right next door to each other on top of it. I don't know if we've mentioned that.
No.
But we lived right next door to each other. So if we ever wanted to hang out with a friend, we just walked a couple yards and that was it.
We had to cross the black hole.
Oh, yeah.
God, that black hole is scary. There was a space between our houses that wasn't fenced. And at night, it was just pitch black. And every time we crossed it, I swear, when I'd look down, I would try and walk it. I would try and like, you can walk it. You don't have to run. There's no reason to run. But every time I would just imagine a serial killer just charging me out of the dark.
Yeah.
And only being able to see it when it was like right on me, and I would run like hell.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about Archer Avenue, and we lived 1 minute away from Archer Avenue.
Well, that and the cross street of our houses was German Church Road, which is also very haunted. And we lived directly across from the bridge where the Grimes sisters haunt.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure one of us will cover the Grimes sisters.
1,000%.
For sure. So we lived in kind of like a haunted Bermuda Triangle.
100%. So that's why I think...
Our houses weren't haunted.
No. And that's why I think at night, even though our neighborhood was extremely safe, it was scary at night because of all of the stories we had heard surrounding our neighborhood.
Outside felt scary.
Yes.
In our neighborhood. Even though it was very safe. Mm-hmm. It had no criminal activity, nothing.
I still get scared at my family's home at night because of all the windows looking outside. I get freaked out. I don't know what it is.
There's something in the 11 years I lived on that street, every single time I pull up to it at night, I'm scared of it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
There's just this uneasiness about that cul-de-sac because it's the cul-de-sac right next to German Church, and it's just It's frightening.
I've never experienced anything, but
never.
It just has like that eerie suburban nighttime vibe from all the horror movies we've seen.
Like,
you know, it
slasher
looks like,
film would go down here.
Yeah, it looks like all of those neighborhoods, as I'm sure you guys can relate, because I can imagine that everybody's home probably resembles this.
Probably.
Yeah.
Willow Springs, man.
Izzy, I need my arm.
No, that's her arm now.
Izzy, can I have my arm back?
No, you can't.
I need to tell a story.
You can have my arm. We'll switch arms.
There you go.
Our assistant had her teeth cleaned this week. She did very good.
Yeah, she went to the dentist.
She did. This was a very serious dentist.
Yes. She has a little shaved spot on her arm from her IV.
Yeah, she's adorable.
It looks really cute, Izzy. Don't feel self-conscious.
Yeah, it's okay to be bald.
Okay.
All right? She has been hyping this story all week. She's been super excited about it.
I've wanted to tell this since we decided we were going to do celebrity death.
Okay, and you've held off.
I've held off because...
For as long as you could.
I don't know why I held off, to be honest.
Is it one that I probably would have done if you continued to hold off?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't think it's the death so much that's interesting. There's just other things about this person that are interesting.
Okay.
The death is also interesting. Okay. All right, anyway, enough hyping it up.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah, tell me who died.
I'm sure you'll know by this name, but it's not the name that this person is known for.
Okay.
Okay, Eric Weiss. Yes. Eric Weiss was born on March 24th, 1874, in Budapest.
Very cool.
His family, including his 6 siblings...
If this doesn't get paranormal, I'm going to be...
It will.
I'm going to be upset.
They came to the United States in 1878 when Eric was 4 years old, living in Appleton, Wisconsin. As a child, Eric took several jobs, one of which being a trapeze artist. At the age of 9, he called himself Eric, the Prince of the Air.
Oh, okay. That's very pure for a 9-year-old.
That's so cute.
I'm Eric, the Prince of the Air.
Yes. As a teenager, Eric was coached by magician Joseph Runn at the Pastime Athletic Club. He began his magic career in 1891, but had little success while appearing in a tent act with strongman Emile Jarreau. He performed in dime museums and sideshows, doubled as the wild man at a circus. He focused on traditional card tricks at first and billed himself as the king of cards, but he apparently was very bad at card tricks.
That's funny.
So he just had a...
He wasn't great at it.
You know, Mr. Weiss had BDE. Or big card energy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
BCE. I love
BME, big magic energy.
We have to give props where props are due. The only reason we know this person's real name is because of Chris Angel.
Yes, that's true. He began to use the name, drumroll, Harry Houdini. Harry, after Harry Keller, who was an American magician, or his nickname, Airy. Airy. Houdini, after French magician Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin. Oh. Eric thought that adding an I at the end of a name meant like in French, so that's where Houdini came from.
Okay.
In 1894, while performing with his brother Theo as the Brothers Houdini, they met a fellow performer named Bess Rayner, who would later become Houdini's wife. She replaced Houdini's brother in the show, and for the rest of his performing career, Bess worked as his stage assistant, and they were known as the Houdinis. Houdini's big break came in 1899 when he met manager Martin Beck, who advised him to concentrate on escape acts as he was so impressed with Houdini's handcuff act. Clearly, he was like, stay away from the card tricks. You suck at them.
Seriously.
Within months, Houdini was performing at the top vaudeville houses in the country.
I just keep picturing Harry Houdini, like the greatest magician of all time, being like, is this your card? And someone being like, no. Oh, I was kidding. It's this one. No.
Okay, let's do a handcuff trick instead. So in the year 1900, Houdini began to tour Europe. While in London, Houdini gave a handcuff escape demonstration and succeeded in baffling the police so effectively that he was booked at the Alhambra for 6 months. His show was an immediate hit, and his salary rose to $300 a week, which today is equivalent to $9,220 a week.
Jeez.
Yes. So he was very rich.
Give me Houdini's money.
Right? Should take up magic.
Yeah, apparently.
Between 1900 and 1920, he appeared in theaters all over Great Britain, performing escape acts, illusions, card tricks, and outdoor stunts, becoming one of the world's highest paid entertainers, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
He became widely known as the Handcuff King. In each city, Houdini challenged local police to restrain him with shackles and lock him in a jail cell. In many of these escape challenges, he was first stripped nude and searched to make sure he wasn't hoarding any kind of keys or anything.
Gotta check the butt crack. Gotta check the old scrot.
Yes. Clearly, he always came up clean, so.
Yeah.
From 1907 through the 1910s, Houdini performed with great success in the United States. He freed himself from jails, handcuffs, chains, ropes, and straitjackets, often while hanging from a rope in front of a live street audience. Because of imitators, Houdini put his handcuff act behind him on January 25, 1908. Instead, he began escaping from a locked water-filled milk can. The possibility of failure and death is what thrilled his audiences and kept them coming. Houdini expanded his repertoire with his escape challenge act, in which he invited the public to devise contraptions to hold him in, including nail packing crates, sometimes lowered into water, riveted boilers, wet sheets, mail bags, and even the belly of a whale.
Wet sheets.
Yes. I literally wrote that and I was like...
wet sheets.
And I was like, B is going to make a comment about wet sheets.
Not these wet sheets.
And even the belly of a whale that had washed ashore in Boston.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
He went into a belly of a whale.
And escaped it, yeah.
By cutting himself out of it?
I don't know how he did it, but yeah, he escaped the belly of a whale once.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy to me, though, is that he was like, yeah, why don't you make a contraption and I'll escape from it? Like,
yeah.
That to me is a test of a true escape artist.
Seriously.
In 1913, Houdini introduced the Chinese water torture cell, in which he was suspended upside down in a locked glass and steel cabinet overflowing with water, holding his breath for more than 3 minutes. He would go on performing this escape for the rest of his life.
Bad call.
Brewers in Scranton, Pennsylvania... home of Joe Biden.
And Michael Scott.
And
apparently Joseph Morales.
And apparently our dear friend Joseph. So brewers in Scranton and other cities challenged Houdini to escape from a barrel after they filled it with beer. Many of these challenges were arranged with local merchants.
Chug. That's how you get out.
Just drink it all. Honestly,
yeah.
Many of these, that's how you survive a drowning.
That's how you die of alcohol poisoning.
Yes. Many of these challenges were arranged with local merchants in one of the first uses of mass tie-in marketing. Rather than promote the idea that he was assisted by spirits, as some illusionists of the time did, Houdini's advertisements showed him making his escapes via dematerializing, or teleportation. Although, for the record, Houdini himself never claimed to have supernatural powers.
Right.
This is where it gets spicy.
Spicy.
In the 1920s, Houdini turned his energies toward debunking psychics and mediums, who he called, quote, vultures who preyed on the bereaved. Houdini's training in magic allowed him to expose frauds who had successfully fooled many scientists and academics. He was a member of a committee called Scientific American that offered a cash prize to any medium who could successfully demonstrate supernatural abilities. None were able to do so, and the prize was never collected. As his fame as a Ghostbuster grew, Houdini took to attending seances. Yes. He took to attending seances in disguise, sometimes with a mustache and a beard.
It's like, what is it? Those glasses with the nose and the mustache.
Clearly. He was accompanied by a reporter and police officer. Possibly the most famous medium whom he debunked was Mina Crandon, also known as Marjorie. Crandon was known for exuding ectoplasm. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Yes. But for those who don't, it is defined as a supernatural, vicious substance that is supposed to exude from the body of a medium during a spiritualistic trance and form the material for the manifestation of spirits.
Whoa!
Yes.
Do I have ectoplasm?
No. So one of her more popular tricks was the appearance...
No.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Thank God. I would be freaking out if you were just...
How do you know?
Barfing up like...
Oh, you barf?
I mean, sometimes it just like comes up out of your body or...
it's an actual thing you can see.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
One of her more popular tricks was the appearance of a teleplasmic hand, during seances.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a picture of it. I'll show you.
Cool. Ew, what the hell?
Yes.
And why does it look like penises? That's a hand?
Yes.
Why does it look like it's coming out of her crotch? Where did she get this? What is this made of? What is this?
I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay.
The hand did not move after its appearance on the table in front of her. It lay still as if it were dead and then supposedly vanished. The hand appeared only when Crandon sat next to her husband, who held or controlled her right hand. The teleplasmic hand was later exposed as a trick when biologists examined the hand and found it to be made of a piece of carved animal liver.
Ew.
You're going to love this. And I'm laughing because of what you said.
What?
It is speculated that she would insert it vaginally.
No!
And expel it from her vagina.
Expel it?
Yes.
Jesus. She's one of those women at those, the places that can to shoot ping pong balls?
Apparently. Instead, she just shoots teleplasmic hands.
Expel it. Jesus Louise. Okay.
So she would expel it onto the table during seances as her hands were being held on both sides.
Hold on. Her vagina is under the table. Although she is kind of like leaning. But she's got a coat on. And she's just shooting.
Apparently.
Shooting animal liver hands.
I mean, how else?
Onto a table from her vagine.
Unless she removed her hand from her husband and just pulled it out and put it on the table. Yes.
I dislike this woman so much.
So she refused to wear tights or to be
Oh my God.
or to be internally searched.
Oh
But no proof of that allegation has actually ever been published.
I'm so sad.
But that's the explanation.
I don't like her.
Crandon used a trick in an attempt to fool psychic researchers that the spirit voices in her seances did not come from her own mouth. According to magician John Booth, this was performed by Crandon filling her mouth with water so she couldn't create a fake voice before the seance had started. And when the lights would turn off, she would swallow the water. And then before the end of the seance, she would refill her mouth with water from a corked test tube. She's such a cheater.
Jeez.
So, yeah. And all of her seances were performed in the dark, so people couldn't really see what she was up to, which is why she kind of got away with, like, messing with things. So Crandon's reputation was also damaged when a fingerprint left on wax by her channeled spirit of her deceased brother Walter was discovered to belong to her dentist, Frederick Caldwell. Her dentist divulged that he had actually taught her how to make these fingerprints. In August 1924, Houdini exposed the mechanics used during her seances, particularly one involving bell noises. Houdini asked her to wear an apparatus which prevented her from using her legs. The apparatus was a large cabinet box, leaving only her head and hands sticking out, so she couldn't, like, mess with things.
I love it.
On August 25th, Crandon was placed in the cabinet. A box with a bell was placed on a table in front of the cabinet. During the seance, the bell made a noise, but when the lights were turned on, it was revealed that the lid of the cabinet box had been forced open.
What the hell? How does this lady do this?
Houdini claimed Crandon had cheated, obviously, and had rung the bell herself. So this all started because he went to one of her seances, and there was a bell underneath the table, and
she's moving it with her leg.
She was, like, kicking it. Yeah, she would, like, touch it with her leg.
Okay.
And Houdini was kind of like, I'm onto her, so I want to trap her and see if she can still make the bell ring with her mind. And Houdini was actually really passionate about kind of wanting this to work because he was really close to his mother and his mother had passed away and he wanted a way to connect to his mother in the afterlife. So he would go to medium to try and find one that was real.
So he could connect to his mother.
And and the more he found that a lot of them were fraudulent, he was so upset because he was like, you are messing with people that are grieving, and that's not cool.
Right.
And that's why he got so passionate about debunking spiritualism, because he was hurt.
Right.
Personally. So he chronicled his debunking exploits in his book, A Magician Among the Spirits. These activities cost Houdini the friendship of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Doyle, a firm believer in spiritualism, during his later years refused to believe any of Houdini's exposés. Doyle came to believe that Houdini was a powerful spiritualist medium and had performed many of his stunts by means of paranormal abilities, and was using these abilities to block those of other mediums that he was debunking. So Doyle thought that he was trying to debunk other mediums because
he was one.
He didn't want to be exposed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So on October 22nd, 1926, Houdini was performing at the Princess Theatre in Montreal, my hometown.
Montreal.
A McGill University student, Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead, approached Houdini and asked, quote, if he believed in the miracles of the Bible, and, quote, whether it was true that punches in the stomach did not hurt him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Houdini offered a casual reply that his stomach could endure a lot. Whitehead then delivered some very hammer-like blows to Houdini's stomach. Houdini was reclining on a couch at the time because he had broke his ankle while performing several days earlier. Houdini winced at each blow and eventually stopped Whitehead in the midst of a punch, gesturing that he had had enough and adding that he had no opportunity to prepare himself against these blows because he didn't expect Whitehead to start striking him.
Seriously.
And if his ankle hadn't been broken, he wouldn't be lying down the way he was. He probably would have just sat up and braced himself and would have been able to handle the punch because this was like a common thing. That,
punch me in the stomach.
Yeah.
I can take it.
Right.
Yeah. Men.
Right. So throughout the evening, Houdini performed in great pain. He was unable to sleep and remained in constant pain for the next 2 days. He did not seek medical help, but finally he did see a doctor, and he was found to have a fever of 102 degrees Fahrenheit, for those non-Americans, and acute appendicitis, and was advised to have immediate surgery. He ignored the advice and decided to go on with the show.
So this dude punched him so hard it ruptured his appendix.
Right. Well...
Or it was already ruptured.
It might have already been happening, and he just didn't realize it yet, and took some blows to the stomach without knowing he had appendicitis. So he refused to have surgery. And when Houdini arrived at the Garrick Theater in Detroit, Michigan on October 24th, 1926, for what would be his last performance, he was performing with a fever of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And despite the diagnosis, Houdini took the stage. He was reported to have passed out during the show, was revived, and continued. Afterwards, he was hospitalized at Detroit's Grace Hospital. Harry Houdini died of peritonitis, secondary to a ruptured appendix, at 1:26 p.m. on October 31st, 1926, in room 401 at Detroit's Grace Hospital at age 52.
Young.
Yeah. In his final days, he believed that he would recover, but his last words before dying were reportedly, quote, I'm tired of fighting. I do not want to fight anymore.
Aw.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. This man's been, torturing himself every day of his life for years.
For entertainment's sake.
For entertainment. I would be like, yeah, I'm done, too.
Yeah. So it's unclear whether the dressing room incident caused Houdini's eventual death, as the relationship between blunt trauma and appendicitis is uncertain.
Okay.
After taking statements from Price and Smilovitz, who were friends of Whitehead, who punched Houdini, they were there that night and witnessed everything. Houdini's insurance company concluded that the death was due to the dressing room incident and paid double indemnity. So before Houdini died, he and Bess, his wife, agreed that if Houdini found it possible to communicate after death, he would communicate the message, Rosabelle, believe.
Right.
A secret code which they agreed to use. Rosabelle, after their favorite song. Bess held yearly seances on Halloween, which was the day he died, for 10 years after Houdini's death. During a seance with medium Arthur Ford in 1929, the secret code was spoken to her.
Wow.
But Bess later said that the incident had been faked.
Oh.
Yeah.
But wait.
Sorry to rise you up and let you down.
What, did somebody know that was the secret code?
So the code was briefly mentioned in a Houdini biography, one page.
Oh, that sucks.
And could have very well been broken by Ford or his associates. Now, it's not proven whether or not Ford was fraudulent, but there was just so much evidence pointing towards the fact that he could have figured it out. There were so many clues that he could have used to figure out what it was that, what their secret code was. So Bess has come out to say, no, that case wasn't true.
Oh.
So you know this story.
Yeah.
In 1936, Bess attempted a final seance on the roof of the Knickerbocker Hotel in Hollywood.
Oh.
With
Pause for bells.
Is he?
Now it's not the time. Yeah, now
Yes, very sleepy.
You did a 180?
Wow. Napping on the job.
Now you're back.
All right. So in 1936, Bess attempted a final seance on the roof of the Knickerbocker Hotel in Hollywood with their friend Eddie Saint. Now, we did stand in front of the Knickerbocker Hotel during a
ghost tour.
Hollywood ghost walking tour. It was really fun.
It was fun. The Knickerbocker Hotel is crazy. Apparently so many people committed suicide. They had to like nail the windows shut and take the balconies away.
So crazy.
So crazy.
So coverage of this final Houdini seance was broadcasted via radio all over the world. So now I'm going to read you some of the recording. So Saint cried out during the recording, "Houdini, are you here? Are you here? Houdini, please manifest yourself in any way possible. We have waited, Houdini, oh so long.
Oh, so long. Never
have you been able to present the evidence you promised. And now this, the night of nights, the world is listening, Harry. Levitate the table. Move it. Lift the table. Move it or wrap it. Spell out a code, Harry. Please. Ring a bell. Let its tinkle be heard around the world."
Tinkle.
Saint and the rest of Bess's inner circle attempted to contact the elusive magician for over an hour. Before finally giving up, Saint finally turned to Bess. "Mrs. Houdini, the 0 hour has passed. The 10 years are up. Have you reached a decision?" The mournful voice of Bess Houdini then echoed through radio receivers around the world. "Yes, Houdini did not come through. My last hope is gone. I do not believe that Houdini can come back to me or to anyone. The Houdini shrine has burned for 10 years. I now reverently turn out the light. It is finished. Good night, Harry." The seance came to an end, but at the moment it did, a tremendously violent thunderstorm broke out, drenching the seance participants and terrifying them with horrific lightning and thunder.
That's very rare in Los Angeles.
They would later learn that this mysterious storm did not occur anywhere else in Hollywood, only above the Knickerbocker Hotel.
That's crazy.
Some speculated that perhaps Houdini did come through after all, as the flamboyant performer just might have made his presence known by the spectacular effects of a thunderstorm.
Wow. He can affect weather now.
He can control weather now. I mean, maybe.
Chris Angel wishes.
He wishes.
Seriously.
Nevertheless, Mrs. Houdini blew out the candle that she had kept burning beside a photograph of Houdini since his death. She stated that 10 years was long enough to wait for any man. The tradition of holding a seance for Houdini continues. Held by magicians throughout the world, the official Houdini seance was organized in the 1940s by Sidney Hollis Radner, who is a huge Houdini fan. Yearly Houdini seances are also conducted in Chicago at the Excalibur nightclub by necromancer Neil Tobin, also very haunted.
Necromancer?
Yes, it's somebody who communicates with the dead.
Oh, that sounds like somebody who has sex with the dead.
It does.
Oh, the Excalibur's super haunted. Yeah.
Super haunted.
Super haunted.
We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And at the Houdini Museum in Scranton by magician Dorothy Dietrich, who previously held them at New York's Magic Townhouse with magical nobles like Houdini biographers Walter B. Gibson and Milburn Christopher. Real name Milburn, that's great.
Milburn.
So fun fact, Walter B. Gibson was actually asked by Bess Houdini to carry on the original seance tradition on her behalf. After doing them for many years at New York's Magic Townhouse, before he died, Walter passed on the tradition of conducting of the original seances to Dorothy Dietrich. So she's continuing to do them now in Scranton.
Dorothy's still alive.
Mm-hmm. And okay. Dorothy's still doing seances.
Dang.
For Houdini.
Dang.
I'm sure she will pass on the torch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
On March 22nd, 2007, Houdini's grandnephew, George Harding, the grandson of his brother Theo, who was in the Magician's Duo before he met Bess. And Theo is also a well-renowned magician as well, for the record. So his grandnephew announced that the courts would be asked to allow exhumation of Houdini's body to investigate the possibility of Houdini being murdered by spiritualists. As suggested in the biography The Secret Life of Houdini, in a statement given to the Houdini Museum in Scranton, the family of Bess Houdini opposed the application and suggested it was a publicity ploy for the book. The Washington Post stated that the press conference was not arranged by the family of Houdini. Instead, the Post reported it was orchestrated by authors Kalush and Sloman of The Secret Life of Houdini, who hired a PR firm to promote their book. In 2008, it was revealed that the parties involved never filed legal papers to perform an exhumation. That's actually a very popular theory.
Okay.
That Whitehead, the man who punched Houdini, was like hired by spiritualists to like shut him up and get him out of their hair because he was so vocal about debunking spiritualists.
Wow. Okay.
But just a theory.
Yeah.
The contradictory nature of Houdini's discourse about spiritualism, coupled with his seemingly magical powers and the fact that he died on Halloween, have given rise to many, many theories about his ghost. The first theory places Houdini's ghost in Los Angeles.
Yep.
Ghost hunters Richard and Debbie Sennett believe Houdini's ghost haunts an old stone staircase at a ruined estate on Laurel Canyon Boulevard in Hollywood, known as the Houdini Estate.
Yeah, you can get married there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go there.
It's really pretty.
The mansion that can be found at 2400 Laurel Canyon Boulevard burned down in 1959. When Los Angeles' 3 big daily papers ran stories about the... Izzy, you're snoring on the job, literally. Wake up. Thank you.
Thank you.
When Los Angeles' 3 big daily papers ran stories about the old Houdini mansion burning, visitors to the grounds began to report spotting Houdini's ghost. They described phantom light orbs that could be seen darting through the trees on the hill behind the old mansion's foundations. Houdini had lived in the Laurel Canyon mansion in 1919 while making 2 films for Lasky Famous Players and was known to swim in the spring-fed pool at the luxurious estate.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yes. I'm assuming pieces of it are still together if people are getting married
I
there.
would a hundo get married
At the Houdini
at
estate.
the Houdini estate.
That's
It's
cool.
So cool. Apparently, it's not that expensive to book.
Fancy.
Yeah.
The second theory places Houdini's ghost in Niagara Falls, Canada. Yeah. Yeah, Canada.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm very proud Canadian, okay? In the book Shadows of Niagara, John Savoy explains that in 1968, atop Clifton Hill, the Houdini Magical Hall of Fame opened its doors featuring professional paraphernalia of the famous magician and escape artist.
Someone is rolling.
There's a
something
loud...
down the hall.
Oh. I was like, earthquake?
No, pause for
Can you imagine if we were recording and there was an
That'd
earthquake?
be fun.
That would be crazy. The large amount of treasures were bequeathed to Houdini's brother, known in the profession as Hardin. Like I said, he was a famous magician as well.
Right.
Houdini had instructed Hardin to burn the materials so that no one would ever discover his secrets. But Hardin did not want to destroy the items, naturally. Instead, he kept them in storage for nearly 40 years. Eventually, the hoard of items Houdini used during magic shows were sold to the Houdini Magical Hall of Fame in Niagara Falls, and they were put on display. According to Savoy, in the first year of the museum's operation, there were a series of 6 fires, a robbery, and a freak accident in which one of the museum's directors walked through a plate glass window.
Jeez.
It appeared as if Houdini himself was showing his displeasure of the museum.
Houdini is not here for this crap.
He's like, I wanted that shit burned. Savoy also mentions the numerous seances that were held each year to see if the spirit of Houdini would return. Each time, the seances were less effective than previous years, and finally, in 1974, medium Ann Fisher persuaded Houdini to make himself known, and that this would be the last seance if he had not. Instantly, a pot of flowers fell to the ground, and a book about Houdini followed. It opened to a page which featured a Houdini poster with the title, Do Spirits Return?
Weird.
Yes. In 1995, Houdini's ghost was blamed for a massive fire that ripped through the building. Most of the artifacts were destroyed in the blaze, essentially fulfilling Houdini's final wishes.
Huh.
This building now houses a 3D moving theater, and according to staff members, paranormal activities still unfold there, including disembodied voices that spook employees late at night.
So cool.
Yes. The third theory suggests Houdini's spirit remained in Detroit after his death. Some people believe his ghost haunts the David Stott building, located on the same site of the Garrick Theater, which was demolished in 1928. Other rumors place his ghost at the building that once housed W.M.R. Hamilton's funeral home, and where Houdini was embalmed. Still, others feel it is more realistic that he haunts the site of the old Grace Central Hospital, which today hosts the Harper Professional Building. The hospital was, after all, the only place that Houdini was unable to escape from.
Oh, sad.
So the fourth theory places Houdini's ghost in Greenwich Village, New York. In the book Haunted Greenwich Village, author Tom Ogden speculates that Houdini haunts McSorley's old alehouse. Founded by an Irish immigrant who had escaped the famine, the tavern would go on to welcome some of America's most famous people, including Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, E.E. Cummings, Woody Guthrie, and John Lennon, my second favorite Beatle. George is my first.
Yes.
George holds my heart.
Yeah.
Houdini liked to frequent the establishment, and Ogden believes his ghost haunts the watering hole to this very day. The evidence? A pair of monocles that are rumored to belong to Houdini are shackled to a gleaming bar rail. The theory suggests that Houdini's ghost returns to his old watering hole in the form of a black phantom cat, sitting in the window before suddenly disappearing.
Is this Houdini?
Izzy, are you Houdini?
She's Houdini.
She's sleepy. The final theory places Houdini's ghost in Montreal, the city where he met his fate.
He's a traveling ghost.
Baby. Montreal's Old Princess Theater, where Houdini received the punches that ultimately killed him, is located at 476 South St. Catherine Street in a building that is presently abandoned. The Princess Theater was built in 1908 for vaudeville and burlesque shows, operettas, and theatrical performances. In 1915, it was completely destroyed by fire and was rebuilt 2 years later.
So many fires.
Mm-hmm. It was in the second incarnation of the building that Houdini met his fate.
Fate.
I meant to say fate. I got stuck on my tongue.
Fate.
Yeah. In 1963, the princess was renamed La Parisienne and underwent major renovations. In 1974, the theater closed.
Can you stop with the banging? What's with all the banging?
In 1974, the theater closed for more renovations and was later reopened as a 5-screen cinema airing indie French-language films. The Parisienne hosted the first Montreal World Film Festival in 1977, one of Canada's oldest film events. During its days as a cinema, there were wild rumors that Houdini was haunting the building. Staff members reported seeing his ghost on no less than 3 occasions, wearing a top hat and a cape. And finally...
Very dapper.
Yes. And finally, in 2002, a fire destroyed one auditorium and damaged 6 others, forcing the cinema to close its doors for good on April 12th, 2007.
Dang.
That is the...
life and death of Eric Weiss, a.k.a.
Mr.
Harry Houdini.
Yeah, Mr. Houdini's...
A.k.a. Harry.
Harry Houdini.
Harry. Yeah, there's a ton of Houdini lore in Los Angeles. You got the Knickerbocker, you've got the Magic Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have a seance room in the Magic Castle for Houdini? Do. And then the Houdini Estate, which is literally down the street from us.
Crazy.
It is.
So my sources were Wikipedia.
Mine wasn't this time. Aren't you proud of me?
I'm so impressed.
0 Wikipedia.
Haunted Montreal blog number 30 called Harry Houdini's Ghost by Donovan King.
Okay.
And American Haunting Sync article, The Haunted Museum, A Magician Among the Spirits, Houdini and the Supernatural.
I'm looking up the Houdini Estate.
I was thinking, you said it, you're like, so many fires. And I was like,
see how beautiful it is?
Oh, wow, it's gorgeous.
Like a maze.
Yeah, it's so strange to me that all these... Oh, wow, that's so pretty.
I know.
It's so strange to me that all these haunted affiliations with Houdini have burned down.
Yeah.
It's like too coincidental.
Kind of what he wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
I know, it's very coincidental, but it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
It's just such a cool place.
If I got married there, I would want a magician to perform at my wedding.
It would have to be a really good one, though.
Yeah. So, fun fact about me.
Yeah, you have a magician.
Yeah, my grandpa was a magician before. Well, he was an amateur card
trick. That would be
trick.
such a cute homage to your grandpa.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. To have a card trick person there.
During cocktail hour. Yeah.
If I ever find somebody that wants to marry me.
Everybody should want to marry you, but...
That's sweet.
That would be so cute.
Right?
Yeah.
So my grandpa would
it'd be cheesy for 90% of people, but in homage to your grandpa, that would be
so sweet.
The cutest thing ever.
Yeah, my grandpa used to perform card tricks for B&I.
Yeah.
In Montreal when she would come with us in the summers. And it was so cute. He had a fanny pack of magic tricks, literally.
Well, I was going to say, you can hire Mark Savard.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's more of he's not a magician.
He's a hypnotist.
Yeah, he's a hypnotist.
But how funny would that be?
Yeah.
That would be fun. I'm sure he knows how to do magic.
I'm sure he does.
Or he knows somebody who can hook you up.
Yeah.
Chris Angel. Sorry.
Yeah, for real.
Because your grandpa was obsessed with him.
He was.
I've referenced Chris Angel on this podcast more than I have said Chris Angel's name in the last decade.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. What is happening?
Oh, it's so great.
Saying it here now, Chris Angel on the podcast.
Oh my God.
He's big into this stuff.
He is. He'd be like, hey, I'm Chris Angel.
No, I don't think he'd be cheesy.
Mind freak.
I don't think he'd be cheesy.
No, I don't think he would either.
Because, I don't know, there's obviously a persona, but
yeah.
I think he's a nice guy.
Probably. He seems fine.
My heart goes out to his son.
I know.
He's battling cancer for the second time. That's horrible.
It sounds like every family's nightmare.
Every family's nightmare, because his son's, only like 8?
Yeah, can we talk about something wonderful now?
Yeah, let's talk about something wonderful. What's your how wonderful?
I honestly wasn't really sure what to do, but I was pretty pumped about Ariana Grande's new album.
Oh, yeah. We
Positions.
We love Ariana in here. We love Ariana in here.
It's so fun and vibey and like horny.
Yeah, it's super horny. But like, girl likes to get naked with her boyfriend, that's for sure.
I mean, hey,
good for.
Is he? Do you not agree?
What's your favorite Ariana track?
I think so far I like the one with Doja Cat.
Motives.
That's
a good one. I'm literally currently wearing an Ariana Grande.
You are actually.
God is a Woman pullover.
I really like that song.
I'm Rain on Me right now. I've got Gaga sweatpants on.
You got your Gaga sweatpants, yeah.
Rain.
Rocking it all.
Me.
And it doesn't match.
Doesn't match. Sunday. Who's going to look at me on colors? I look like an Easter egg.
No. Sorry, I'm in a Shawn Mendes hoodie.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Burn it.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I really like that album. I was really excited. I didn't know it was coming out, and it just appeared, and I was really pumped about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she loves doing that.
Yeah.
She's just like, here you go. Here's the whole album.
So that was a pretty wonderful thing that happened this week.
Music is wonderful.
Yes.
We're happy. We're happy for music.
Also, Sam Smith's album is wonderful.
Yeah, I love that they embraced the gay disco side of them now.
Oh my God, yes.
I was waiting for it.
I love the song.
Not that I don't love their like morbid ballad.
Totally. No, but
they're
upbeat.
Dance, Sam. You gotta dance.
Yes, and their upbeat songs are so good. I love Kids Again.
Kids Again is fun.
Kids Again is so beautiful. It's so good. Oh.
No, what's the one with Labyrinth?
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway.
Pretty. Not a disco song. But,
there was some fun new music.
Thanks to Brandon Flynn for giving them some like
some inspo.
Real solid, juicy material.
Brandon Flynn. I wish I could.
Yeah, that's another loss for the team.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's
they need them too.
Yeah, that's their gain.
It's totally fine.
Congratulations.
They've got a lot of gains.
Yeah, Troye Sivan. What a gain.
And they just leave us here with
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah, we'll take him.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, we'll take him too.
Even though Harry Styles is not publicly labeled. I don't care. I will accept whatever.
He publicly dates women, yes. So the assumption is he's on our side.
Right. And I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I will take it.
My how wonderful is that we are now in November and my mommy comes in November.
Aww.
I haven't seen her since July.
Yay, so mommy.
Very excited for the Madre to be here. We're going to put her on the show.
Yeah, Grandmaster Rose is going to be our next guest.
She is. She doesn't know what to say. She's a little shy about it, but I think she'll be good.
Yeah, we'll walk her through it.
She'll be good. My mama is a special mama. She's once you meet her, she is then your mama.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
She loves fiercely and intensely, and that's what we love about Rose.
Exactly. And she's also a very big believer in the paranormal.
Yes. She has had experiences.
Big time.
We'll get them out of her.
Big time. We'll get into that for sure.
She's probably just nervous about the microphones and the equipment. It's a little intimidating at first, but even Joey was like, "Oh, this is. I'm a little nervous."
It's funny to watch our very like I want to say, like, extroverted friends get nervous as soon as they're in front of a microphone.
Yeah. I mean, I was.
Oh, yeah.
The first recording, I was really nervous, and now we just set it up. I'm like, okay, now time to talk.
It's whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's pick our topics.
Yep. All right, you go first.
Okay. I'm gonna shuffle them up.
Shuffle it. Every day you're shuffling.
All right. True crime.
True crime.
Hells yes.
I'd love to see it. Let's see if we keep on our roll of one of us having true crime, one of us having paranormal.
I know, right? That'd be sick.
Let's see. This one's sticking out. Let's do this one. All right. Awful roulette. I wanted this
All right.
one.
Now let's see what happens.
Let's see. Whoo, whoo, whoo.
Let me do a little shuffle action. I'm excited too. Hopefully you guys will learn a new...
well, if I pick aliens, I'm putting it to the side and I'm picking again because you did it last time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Actually, we probably should do that.
We probably should, but we didn't.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Let me find it if it's in here.
Serial killers.
Oh, so we're just going to dive into crime.
It's going to be a crimey podcast.
It is. So we moved cults into Awful Roulette. We're going to wait to reveal the other subject until it comes up as a surprise.
Yes. We took one out of Awful Roulette that you don't know about yet.
Yes.
And moved cults into Awful Roulette because, like we said, you do one cult story, you've kind of done 10. So
exactly.
We want to mix things up for y'all.
All right. So this is the 2 used roulettes. Great.
Fun.
Next week,
true crime and murder.
So much murder.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the How Awful podcast.
It is. Where can you find us, Tanya?
You can find us at www.
Dubba.
I don't know why I like doing it that way.
I don't know.
www.howawfulpodcast.com. And you can follow us on social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at How Awful Podcast. You can find us on YouTube.
Where our episodes are transcribed.
Yes, you can search for us. We don't have the / How Awful Podcast quite yet, but you can search for us on YouTube. We do have a channel where we transcribe every episode for your hearing impaired friends.
Yeah.
You can follow our Patreon, which is patreon.com/howawfulpodcast. This is where we post our blog entries. This is where you'll eventually find some video episodes. Plenty of goodies for our patrons. So please join us.
My goodies. Not your goodies.
Actually, it is your goodies.
It's not their goodies if they don't sign up for the Patreon.
Oh, well, you can get some goodies if you do.
Then they're their goodies. Oh, if you want to send us your stories, your I Survived stories, which we did get one. Oh. We'll do it next time. We're already over an hour. So we will read our first I Survived story that we got. It's a doozy. It's a double feature.
Yeah, it's a double feature.
This person has survived things those times.
But yeah, we would love to hear your stories. We would love to hear...
Did you survive something?
Yeah.
Did you experience something?
Tell us your experiences. We want to share it.
You can even tell us, if you live someplace that has lore or a haunting or something.
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell us, go ahead and drop it in our inbox at howawfulpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you like what you're hearing, please remember to subscribe. You can like us. You can rate us.
Review us.
Yes, please tell your friends.
But be nice.
Be nice. Treat people with kindness.
Patron St. Harry Styles.
I've been Tanya Lee.
I've been B.
And this is How Awful.
How Awful. As always, we've been B and Tanya Lee. Our logo was created by MJ Savard, and our theme music courtesy of Nikki Lou.